On the heels of the heir apparent and forthcoming Stadia base model, is it worth keeping Pro and paying monthly for it now? Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. Oh, I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K back again with another video. Do me a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up, because y'all know the deal when I'm dropping these Stadia doses. I am not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right, so here's the deal, y'all. What you see on the screen is of my favorite Stadia sites, StadiaSource.com, with the caption that I love so much: your number one source for Stadia news. And on the site, they have, of course, the slew of recent driblets of news coming in regards to Google Stadia, one of which Baldur's Gate 3 World Gameplay Reveal dated, where it talks about that, you know, the makers of Baldur's Gate, Larian Studios, have announced that they're going to be doing a reveal event. So that's going to be big news. Also big news that Stadia gamers will be able to play on more phones, directly on more phones, like they can play on their Pixel phones now. Well, you can play on a bunch of phones now, but more phones will be supported, is a better way to say it, right? And a lot of them include like Samsung phones and stuff like that, and Razer phones. So definitely check out those two articles. And then on top of that, you got my homeboy Duncan. Let me go back a little bit. My homeboy Duncan of Stadia Source, of the aforementioned Stadia Source, is like the gumshoe of the Stadia community, man. It's like he wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning every day with his coffee and his monocle, just scouring Stadia news all day. He's always the first to everything, man. And that's why we definitely got to get him back on the show to pick his brain once this plethora of news that we expect comes out. I definitely want to get his thoughts on that. That being said, wow, man. I mean, there's stuff that he's picked up on, like Destiny 2. It looks like that the base model of Destiny 2 is being, the infrastructure for that is being laid out there in the Stadia store. He also talks about the family plan. That looks like there's the family plan that's starting to be fleshed out. You know what I mean? So check Duncan out, One2Escape, out there on Twitter to be in the know. Him and the combination of StadiaSource.com, man, you'll every time you turn around, there's something that they're on top of, and it definitely keeps you in the know as far as what's going on with the platform. So with that being said, with all that happening right now, right, a big question is being thrown out there. There was a method to my madness of showing all that. A big question is being thrown out there. And our question is, MM2K, even though there's this little driblets of news, why would I keep my Stadia Pro edition? Why wouldn't I just cancel the Pro edition, just play my games, and then just operate like I'm on the base model, especially if base is right around the corner? Well, first and foremost, I want to say this. I'm going to personally continue to keep my Pro edition. It's a no-brainer to me, and I'm going to get into why it's a no-brainer for me, but I don't want to speak for everybody. You know what I mean? People, different strokes for different folks. As I alluded to in my video prior to this one, I was in Stadia Talks Discord, and in one of their platforms, they talk about all of cloud gaming. And then there was a nice discussion about, you know, Geforce Now versus Stadia. And some people felt that GFN was better, and others felt that Stadia was better. I mean, you know, and it was a nice, robust discussion. No bloviating, no name calling. The way gaming discussions should be. So kudos to Chase for hosting such a reasonable Discord, you know what I'm saying, where things like that can go down. And I can see why now that there's discourse like this all over the place. You know, I know Run Jump Stomp runs one. I'm in a few of them. Now I can see why these people aren't out on Twitter, because they can get more profound discussions in these hubs instead of all the yelling and shouting and all the misinformation being spread about. But I don't want to go too in the weeds. You know how I can do that. With that being said, that's why I don't want to talk for everybody. But I will say this, that even if base doesn't come out, you're still going to get access to the games that you have, I think, at the least. So, don't let that sway your decisions. If you feel like, well, really not much more for me than what's being offered right now, I'll just continue to play the games that I have. Then, fine, do whatever suits you. But here's why I'm going to keep Stadia Pro opposed to just letting it lapse into base. First and foremost, the additional games. I don't want to say free games because they're not free, because you got to pay for the service in order to get them. But the additional games, I like the games that they made additional. To be honest with you, even though they're older games and they've been out on other platforms, I haven't beat them on the other platforms. And some of the ones that I haven't beat on the other platforms, like Guilt, I get access to as a Stadia exclusive. You know what I mean? And looks to be a very great game. And according to my homie Wingy, Glory of Stadia, it's a very good game. So, games like that are coming into foray, particularly like a Metro Exodus that you're getting for free. You know what I mean? I ain't got to worry about it being in a subscription service, you know what I'm saying, where it's in rotation. Like, I constantly get the game as long as I stay as part of the Pro tier. You know what I mean? I appreciate stuff like that, the Tomb Raider games, all that other stuff. And who's to know that Red Dead Redemption won't be in there next month? Who's to know? That being said, because of those additional games and the fact that I love having access to them, I'm not getting rid of my tier service. And I don't want to lose out on an opportunity to get access to a game. There's plenty of times to where for my Games of Gold or my PSN Plus games, I said I really don't want that game, for only a couple of months later for me to say, dang, smack myself in the head, I wish I would have got that game. You know what I mean? So you don't want to let additional games go by, okay? And that's why I'm going to keep my $10 a month service with Stadia Pro. Also, the big discounts, even if you don't like the Stadia Pro games, the monthly games, the discounts are heavy, man. Like being able to get Borderlands and Ghost Recon Breakpoint for the price of one game when they both dropped. Superb, man. You can't beat that with a stick. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I think Borderlands is $20. I remember they had the Stadia Pro. Remember, we went and begged and asked for them to, on the Stadia Pro sales, to put Rage 2 out there for $20. They did it. Red Dead Redemption 2's out there. And then there's more games coming. So who's to know if there's going to be a serious discount out there and you miss out on it? You know what I mean? You don't see it. You miss out on it. So I'm definitely not giving up my Pro for that, my Pro subscription for that. And lastly, the increased capabilities. Now, I game primarily on 1080p 60. I game primarily on 1080p 60 because I want the 60 frames per second. But as it seems like soon that the 4K 60 across the board might be coming, okay? These reports, and then as you get games built from the ground up for Stadia, it's more likely you'll see more of the 4K 60. I would love to be able to play games in 4K 60, especially on my Chromecast Ultra. It feels like it's gonna melt my face, And with that being said, even though I do 1080p 60, and even though 4K 60 isn't the standard right now, there's a lot of A/B testing going on, right? Like, I know Chase tried to talk me down off this ladder earlier when I asked, hey guys, y'all think the 120 frames or the 120 hertz mode was out there? Chase was like, come on, MM2K, look, man, don't go too far out there, brother. Here, come on down from the tree, but I swear, I'm telling you, man, hey, Chase, I swear, man, I swear, I was playing at 120 frames per second. But even though that was just me being delusional or whatever the case may be, they are doing A/B testing every now and again. And if I chop off a tier, I might lose access to that. And to me, I couldn't understand somebody doing that has Stadia right now, because look, knowing what Stadia was when it launched, people either said, you know what, I don't want this right now, I want more, and then they canceled their pre-orders of the platform, or they said, you know what, I'm an enthusiast of the tech, I want to see how it works, I want to be part of the founders that is there while they're testing this thing out, I don't mind. Right? So if you said that and you made the decision to keep the platform, because it couldn't have been because of the plethora of games, right? You know, there was like nothing new that came out with the game except for Destiny. And we now know that as soon as newer games came out, how much of the base actually loved Destiny, you know? So it wasn't for Destiny why a lot of people got, or most people got this, I'll say rather. I will say this though, if you got it because you were interested in the tech, why would you cut off an arm to experience that more before everybody, before utilizing your full founder status? Like, if they do more A/B testing, like if they push out the 4K 60 and you cut it down to the base model, you'll never be able to test it. You'll never get that excitement to be able to test the tech at its earlier phases. You know what I mean? And again, if you stayed with this platform after everything was revealed what it was going to be at launch, and you stated it at it for your run-of-the-mill gaming, I just can't relate to that. I stayed with it for the tech side, to experience the new things and to be one of the founding people that got to experience this stuff. That's why I love early access modes. I'm in all types of early access things on Steam. I'm in all types of beta platforms. I was a beta tester for Shadow. I was in the beta model for Nividia. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, I just can't relate to that. So definitely, even while we're in this data collection phase, I want to be one of the first people to test this stuff out before the rest of the world. And because of that, I'm definitely keeping my Pro subscription tier. So that's it. Those are my reasons of why I'm doing this. I know I was very long-winded about it, but I just wanted to make it abundantly clear that for those that felt the same way that I did, why there are legitimate reasons for keeping your Pro. You know, again, the additional games, big discounts, and the increased capabilities that you're going to see first via the A/B testing or just in general. And with that said, that's it from your boy MM2K. Let me know what you think about what I had to say in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. And with that said, I appreciate all of y'all. Love the support. Thank you so much. And thank you to Google for the recognition of this platform hitting over 200 followers. I blinked, and then we already up to 215, baby. We're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep putting the realness out there. You know what I'm saying? Along with my friends at Stadia Source and my homie Duncan with his monocle and his coffee, 3 a.m. in the morning. But with that said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.